Well, T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and welcome back to another video. Well, in this installment we're going to talk about manual focus, and a little bit more specifically some of the lenses that I managed to acquire from a previous video. You'll see the story behind that. And yeah, basically everything except one is from that purchase. And it's a lens that I had in my possession since before, but I hadn't really used that much, and it's this one, the 180mm f2.8. This one is one of the earlier versions that doesn't have the ED element in it and so on, and it has one of those old school Nikon twist off lens shields on them. So let's see here now. Okay, just to go through them a little bit quickly, what we have here on the table, we have the 200mm f4, the before mentioned 180 f2.8. We have the main attraction, basically, the 105mm f4, the 28mm f3.5, and this one I really need to read because I can never remember these acronyms completely up of the top of my head. So zoom nikkor 35 to 105 3545. Yeah, so this is a little bit of an older zoom lens that also has a dedicated macro setting, or at least a close-up setting. Okay, let's see if I can do this now here. So press the button. Yeah, they're twisted, and you basically put it so this little orange triangle is in line with this orange scale here. So yeah, that's a little bit of it. Let's put it back on the normal operation, so like so. Well, I actually, when I went away on a little day trip to a archipelago island in Stockholm, and in that instance I had some lenses. I actually brought most of the lenses that I had just gotten in that little deal, and the camera I brought with me was the D2XS, an APS-C 12 megapixel crop sensor camera that was a real professional camera, in my opinion. It was the flagship camera before the now fabled Nikon D3, which is a full frame camera. But then when I came back here to Uppsala, I decided to do a little bit of a photo walk session, a couple of photo walk sessions using the Nikon D700. My thought pattern behind it was basically that these are all 35mm film lenses from the film era, and AFX, the full frame sensors, were made for these types of lenses. So I thought, why not to put it to the test and see what type of results we will get with this setup. Also, when I did these little photo walks, I also had in the bag of tricks this little combo setup that I've talked about in previous installments. The let's see here, SC29 flash cable and the SB900 flash. I know that there is a lot of controversy around with this model, that it has had overheating problems and so on, but my experience, I haven't really had those problems, at least not yet. If I will have that in the future, I will surely make a video about it to share that experience. But anyway, just a little bit heads up, this was the majority lens that I used, the 105mm f4 with the, what is it here on it? Yeah, it's just a UV filter, I believe, on it, or rather a protective filter, and the lens hood. Even though this lens comes with a built-in lens hood, I feel it's a little bit, I think this fits it a little bit better and it feels a little bit better. The technique that I basically had to employ using this, and you'll see it a little bit in the B-roll, is that I had to preset a focus distance with the lens, and then I had the SB900 mounted with the cable SC29, and holding the camera and holding the flash at the same time, trying to take the images of the subjects at hand. It was a little bit of windy. Oh, and also, before I forget, if you at some point in the future, when this entire crisis that we're currently globally in has blown over, and you would by chance visit Uppsala in the later part of spring or in the summertime, I would really recommend you take a trip through the Botanical Garden. It is totally free to do so, and it is, for you guys who don't really know this, a little bit of a history lesson. Carl von Linné, the botanist that was one of the first to really catalog and flora and so on, lived here in Uppsala, and there's a lot of both his botanical garden, which is now a museum that you actually have to pay an entrance fee for about 100 Swedish kroner to get into, and you have the botanical garden, which is right next to Uppsala Castle, and that's completely free to enter, and you can walk around at your own leisure. So that's one of the visiting points that I have some B-roll from, and I really would recommend if you're interested in flowers and so on. Really great place to visit. But anyway, I think I will just, I don't really have that much B-roll for this in this instant, but I thought that it would be a nice way to show you a little bit of what you can do with these vintage style lenses and what type of photography they are able to produce with a modern digital setup. So I think this will be all for me for now, and as always, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, yes, as a question to you guys out there in YouTube land, what type of lenses, manual focus or rather old school vintage in quotation mark style lenses, do you still like to use and have in your collection? So yeah, put it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care from now on. Bye. you.